Greetings. Greetings. Namaste. Shalom. Salam. Peace. Hello. Thank you so very kindly for being in here and reading me within you now. For how I could exist without you, I would perish, dissolve into dust, that's for sure. Please see me as I am, not as how you would like me to be. I see you and understand the way to deny of me in thine breath. Love me high, believe me in you tonight. My wonderful guests, I thank you for being in here and for being in now, for all in one and evermore. We are here to dine with thee in our seamless endless sky, an unknown book. We must evolve to find our personal paths, ever known for all of its parts from negative thoughts to positive paths. Just follow my laughter of a silent, disturbing cry. This is the love of lonely, forgotten clown, and please don't cry for me, especially don't frown. There is so much unending sadness and loneliness and so much rejection of the inner laughter in smallest happiness. But we are the clown of the lonely laughter, your loving host inviting you in within to the table of feast, music, drinks, dance, cry and laughter are compost for thee. Come into singing, dancing, loving and laughing. Come into the pain of awareness and the booze with the awareness of pain. Breathe into your heart with the sound of eternal Om. Discover your own natural wood, your own flute, your dome. Give and receive in ecstasy of being alive in love with life and death, and even ever so much thereafter. I am your host and your entertainer. Dear friends of mine, thanking you for your interest and your consideration, as well as your inevitable participation in the upcoming thoughts, words, and events in this bondage, what I say. Greetings, namaste, shalom, peace, hello, and welcome. I wish you a wonderful journey in uncovering some hidden memories, filled with delightful mysteries, stumbling perhaps on the way to some insights in witnessing some rather strange stories. And the strange story of number one is a man, a monkey, a donkey, and me. Have you ever seen a man, a grown-up man, a learned and a known man, holding a monkey, a silly grinning and ever so jumping monkey in his heart, and carrying a very fierce, stubborn Albanian donkey on his back? Have you ever really ever heard this man growling with no pain in his guts? If not, this is not just a song for you to sing. So, what would you feel this poor crazy man in you, and if you are lucky, maybe you would understand not only his story, but our own historical track. Just for this I will tell you a story, not too short in its strange glory, sour and sweet, and, believe you me, for some, quite a well-known treat. Here it goes. When I was a little boy, my mummy said to me, "Nobody loves your mummy but thee. Your father is nothing but a helpless, miserable, penniless, driveless, senseless, romantic, aristocratic bee." One day, ever so long time ago, my mother became so angry with hysterical cries, but suddenly subsided into untouchable sadness. She couldn't tell me why. She wouldn't touch me anymore, and she was ruthless, careless. She said to me, my mummy did, "Go out and play with boys of your age. Be nice and be wise, and watch your eyes, and don't dare to fight. And especially don't fart with your big and empty mouth. Keep the damn trap shut, and don't cling to me any more." That's what my mummy said to me. Know yourself. Know you must for your own father's son. You look just like him. You are his first and last on that damned aristocratic line. Ooh. That's how my mother poisoned me. There was too much pain in such unforgiven eternal vanity. Suddenly my father dissolved into a grinning, giggling, jumping, crazy monkey, laughing at me, and cursed insidiously at my dearest poor suffering mummy. This was not something to love to remember. It was not good. It was not yummy. The monkey, my daddy, jumping in here, falling in there, thinking this and that, and believing that he was a strong ape with cunning and flair. Before I say please be aware, suddenly he jumped straight into my frightened belly. He ate all my food, drank all my juice. I became so thin and empty from his vampirely use, but I could feel his hunger and tasted his thirst in me. So I put him into my tiny, broken-hearted state. So that's how he became a silly monkey in his man's heart. And meanwhile, my mother. More demands to be met, constant criticism going around and around, always about me and my silly monkey and about this and about that. She became so heavy in her burden to carry herself, in her ever so inflexible, ancient, moralistic rule. So very nasty with her insatiable habits, I never could I have thought she would possibly form herself someday in an Albanian mule. While the monkey roared with laughter, I remained silent deep within my heart, while appearing quite outside, burned a flame inside. Couldn't laugh, couldn't cry. Living and dying had become completely apart. I became so alienated and lonely, having lost myself in ancient books, not a thought. My mummy never wanted me nearby her. That was her first tricky messy Put out, pushed in to the left side of my tiny little hut. The first one ever of my dearest money. This first one ever of my dearest money. Oh, she was so miserably clever. No joy in her heart for life. No time for love. To love my dearest monkey ever. While I was growing up as a child, many more nuts were needed and wanted. Now that I was hooked, I would be so kindly ever so many more granted. My body covered all over, and my poor mind had already been so ruthlessly dented. Unlike any other child, I am not just a simple little boy, but I am all over padded. The monkey was so ever joyous, my eyes stopped beating their fluttering cry. My mind became a component. It took control of my eyes, and they became utterly dry. I saw my mother in her eternal suffering for not being just like him. On the contrary, she was the opposite of him, of any laughing monkey, and dim. Heavy in weight, but also in strength, I could feel her, but couldn't understand why. I was still uncertain of my relation to her womb, where eventually I must fly. The monkey warned me that I couldn't fly, for he was so heavy in my past lost heart. I must learn to walk, he said, so he would jump out and jump in any time. That is his art. When my mother became aware of this, not only did she increase her demands and orders, one day she stabbed my heart, ripping it apart, destroying my friend's borders. Not only bitten all over, he was hit so hard on his little empty head with a mighty thick stick, he became unconscious, my poor little love. Lying on the ground, he was almost dead. This was not enough, for the deed was not done, and she was not through with me yet. Now that she was mad, the cat was out of her hat, I must give her all I could get. If you're dad, you want, you little worm, I just show you what happens to your monkey. Just wait, you little sperm, how you will squirm. Just feel the weight of this donkey. A donkey she became, just like that. Big and strong and standing still, stubborn as they come, hatred in her eyes, saying I must destroy, I must kill. Turning suddenly, I felt a kick, a mighty blast on my little unburdened ass. What is happening here? Weren't you ever a living, loving, caring lass? While I'm on the ground, I also felt the monkey's breath in a seamless cage. Suddenly he was awakened, so frightened and filled with sudden, unknown rage. His hand grabbed my throat, his feet surrounded my belly, his stare became his age. There was nothing one could do but wait, to be patient, to see what would happen at this unpredictable stage. The donkey was on my shoulders. Finally, I had become her destructive domain. She fights with him, he with her, and they together punish me in my tiny frame. They tangle me in such a big, unresolvable, ancient Gordian knot. I'm not caught in eternal damnation, surrendering a complete fright. I have become a freak, a shining sample in the form of human misery, laughing and crying, dancing and singing, and ever so screaming with an undeniable fury. We attract large crowds to see us perform on the stage of this misery. We are observed but not comprehended, for they are into themselves, being so greedy. Finally, enough is enough, you must say to yourself, for this polarity is much too much. If you are lucky one day, you'll meet a man with eternal touch. You will receive his breath. He will open your mind to eternal light. Your heart will be filled with sound of sounds, the eternal who, for you to become a light. I'm giving a book filled with Sufi stories, secretly engraved with hidden delightful insights. I am enchanted with a story about a boy with a painted monkey on his chest. That's right. Now I understand what must be done is to be done with dignity and might in broad daylight. In front of the largest crowd in the zoo, I know there won't be any unexpected flight. It is said so long ago, in the days of slavery and communal fear, by poor but wonderful wise, eternal rich man called Kabir. The problem must be utterly destroyed, never step by step, my dear. Just watch me now, for what will happen, never fear. The end is so near. The time is now. Just be here and feel life and not the burden of your fear. I shake off my ass, I rip my chest apart. The stubborn donkey has fallen off and the giggling monkey is gone. Both are surprised, amazed, and even shocked. They can do nothing but either to sit on their butts blocked or stand on their feet apart to fight and get crocked. This is no time to feel my burden, my artificial nuts. I am ready to fight to flight of my eternal life. My body is so sublime. My mind is so clear. My heart is so pure, and my head is under my arm tucked. It is magic time. I'm as light as the air can be. Just watch me disappear into the sky. There are no bounds, no nuts, no monkey, and no donkey seen around. Am I going up and up away, becoming a shining light? Or is it the earth in rotation? My past has become a pointless dot. I see bliss on mountains, on lakes and rivers, high, deep, and wide apart. It is time, my friends, for my lasting circling before we finally part. The story is almost over, but there's always one more song to sing for you, to dance with you, with my newly found soothing sound of one hand clapping in the everlasting, ever so vast, circles, cycles in the air. That is a beautiful song coming up.